In this morning's Business Insight, a new service launching in Cincinnati next month allows established companies to rent out unused space in their offices while giving smaller companies and entrepreneurs a chance to work in cool spaces without having to sign a long-term lease. The business is called Kinglet, and it was started in Baltimore in 2014 when two former real estate developers launched their own boutique development company but ran into trouble finding office space small enough for two people. One of those partners is with us this morning. Jeff Jacobson joins U.S. Bank Business Watch producer Kelly Leon in the studio. Jeff and Kelly.
Thanks, Peg. Jeff, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All the way from Baltimore. We appreciate it. So, what's the big deal with space? I mean, I can work out of my home. Why do I need this space?
So, a small business, and the way that the country's going today, kids graduate from college, they don't want to go work in a law firm for 30 years maybe, or a big corporate firm, and they're starting their own businesses. And there's not many great options for space for them to work. So we find these small companies working out of coffee shops, working out of their apartment, and it's okay and it's cheap, but it's not the greatest work environment. And oftentimes you want to surround yourself with other successful people, you want to be around activity, you want to get out of the house sometimes, and there's really not a great market to find, or there hasn't been a great market to find those spaces.
So in other words, a great space can really impact whether your business does well or not.
Absolutely. You have to love going to work every day, and the vibe and the culture and the location of where you work is so important. And you can run a lot of your business. You can take your computer and sit down at the local coffee shop, but it's hard to have a meeting at the coffee shop all the time. And so we say to those people, there are better places to work. It's been hard to find them, and what Kinglet does is we kind of unlock the doors to those spaces.
So who's your audience? You described it a bit, but is there a target audience that you're going after?
So we have hosts and guests. Our hosts are our supply, and those are the companies that have extra space. And our guests, our target audience there, we call them teams of kind of 1 to 6. So solopreneurs up to teams of 6. And we've worked with bigger groups, and usually that's because they have a specific time need. But it's teams of 1 to 6. They're startups, they're tech-centric, but they're not always. About 30% of our guests in the Baltimore and D.C. area are tech and startup, but we have regular small business. We have attorneys and not-for-profits and title companies and landscape architects, so it's everyone.
So all different. So, and this is mutually beneficial. You're not just talking about, I need space, so I go to you. It's like, I have space, so I go to you. Is that right?
Absolutely. Space is never static, so companies are growing and shrinking, and they're opening.